Huh.
Watching Kyle's unboxing videos again?
Yeah, he always finds the coolest... No way! A robot dog? Gotta ask where he got it.
Or use your Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Just draw a circle around the dog on your screen, and it shows you where to buy it right in the app.
Whoa, I just learned a new trick. And that for once, I beat Kyle to the next big thing.
Circle it, find it with the new Galaxy S24 Ultra and circle the search with Google. Get yours now at Samsung.com. Internet connection required. Results may vary based on visuals.
ABCs. Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every song from 7 to Y. And this week we are talking about a real rump shaker. We are talking about a song that will get you up and get you on the dance floor, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's what it's kind of supposed to be about. I guess we can go into that a little bit more in a few minutes, but I should probably introduce my co-host for the night. Tonight we have Steffan and Betsy. Welcome.
Hello there.
Hello.
And this week we will be discussing Shake Your Rump, which is a Beastie Boys song, but B&L covered it on their Rarities album, Stop Us If You've Heard This One Before. And no, I hadn't heard this one before, B&L. And we'll discuss whether or not I felt like I should have heard this one before when we get to the end of this. But we should probably discuss a little bit about the Beastie Boys and such beforehand. Before we get to that, Steffan and Betsy, are there any, what was your experience with the Beastie Boys before coming into this week?
Go ahead, Betsy.
Well, I used to have them, a couple of their songs back, I want to say 20 years ago, when I need an energy boost or whatever, because they're very, kind of in your face, but they're very clever lyrics. So I appreciated the energy of them back then. However, I don't know. It's just I still appreciate the lyrics, but the energy just kind of I don't know if it's just I'm old and tired now, but they just sound kind of annoying and just like teenage boys screaming lyrics a little bit, and I have to decondition that in myself and say, well, listen to the lyrics, and but yeah, they're not definitely on my playlist, I'll say.
What about you, Steffan?
Well, growing up, I liked them. Of course, I grew up in the 80s. Rap was kind of establishing itself then. So a lot of people wanted to try to express themselves in a similar way because it was a new thing, a new type of music that was really catching steam. And I can understand them wanting to try to do rap and whatnot. And they definitely had their own spin on things, which is good for them for trying to be creative and whatnot. And it's but you can kind of tell that it's new, it was in the infancy of things. And that's kind of a flashback for me in a lot of ways, because, when you're riding on the bus, you hear Beastie Boys among other 80s songs out there. And, just there's memories that are attached to these songs.
So did you know Shake Your Rump?
I did. Of course I knew trying to shake your rump. It's like anything that would make your parents cringe. That was that was something to have back in the 80s, So it was kind of finalizing the 70s, which was very family oriented, and then entering into the 80s, which of course, television sets had a major boom in the 80s, as well as entertainment systems, such as gaming. A lot less radio use was occurring. So, yeah, there was a big family shift that was going on within the 80s. A lot of parents who grew up before the 70s, obviously, and had children in the 70s, they held a lot more of traditional beliefs sometimes when it came to music. They wanted to keep their kids away from anything that was very sexual in nature or aggressive. I know my family was like that. I don't mean to generalize or stereotype, but that's what I experienced. My mom had to listen to the albums that I wanted to buy before I bought them. So
I'm guessing she didn't approve of like Public Enemy and.
Oh no, I never got those. I never got that far. It was Bon Jovi, and she didn't even like the title "Slippery When Wet." So that was it.
Clearly, it's about a floor, and like after you mop, it's slippery when wet. Obviously.
Yeah.
He's a janitor, Mom. Come on.
Dirty bird.
I mean, I knew Beastie Boys at this point that this song came out only from Fight for Your Right to Party.
Yep.
I didn't know any of their other stuff at that point.
No
of
Sabotage?
Course, at that point, I didn't.
Oh, wow.
Although, did Sabotage come out in the late 80s, early 90s?
That might have been a little later.
I was going to say,
wasn't it the album after?
I was going to say, so this song, Shake Your Rump, came out on their second album. I want to say that Sabotage was a later song, like later 90s. I want to say it came out when I was in college.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then there's Intergalactic and stuff like that. So
that came out way
Brass
after.
Monkey. I think Brass Monkey came out while I was late in high school, maybe early in college.
I think Brass Monkey's on the same album as Sabotage.
Okay. I mean, I could look it up right now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not putting in the effort.
Because I'll be honest, Beastie Boys wasn't my jam. Like, it wasn't really what I was into. I thought that Fight for Your Right was kind of a new and different song, but I didn't find their lyrics engaging or interesting for the most part. I've often had a hard time with understanding rap lyrics to begin with, just because of the cadence and things like that. Given that, though, I kind of felt like the rap that they're doing has a lot of jingo, and on top of that, so I would have to sit there and decipher that while trying to listen, while trying to keep up. But I also didn't find it really kind of talk to me. I didn't feel like it really kind of spoke about who I am as a person, so it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I was never into a lot of their songs that I've been listening to this week is a lot of egotism, like we're better than you, we're better than that, you respect us. And I'm like, okay, well, you covered that, you already done that song. Go on.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of felt like with this song, but we'll get to what this song's about.
It's an interesting interpretation of rap in a way. So a lot of yelling.
Yeah, well, and
everybody's so angry.
I felt like Beastie Boys were really a lot of yelling over each other.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And like I enjoyed like Stephen Ed's type rap where they're making jokes, they're making you smile, they're making you laugh.
It's good natured, yeah.
And early Will Smith type stuff. Or Bust a Move and stuff like that, where they're talking about dancing or other not so innocent things.
Other types of dancing.
But they're not talking about like one faction versus another, which had no interest in my life. So yeah, like I didn't get into Beastie Boys really. Should we talk a little bit about who the Beastie Boys were?
Oh, I can tell you what their Beastie stands for.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I only have like 2 pieces of information to add, and that's one of them. So when they first started their band, it stands for Boys Entering Anarchistic States Towards Inner Excellence. So that's
Oh, boy.
Beastie.
Okay.
So I don't know about the whole inner excellence thing, but
Well, they did say that they came up with that after they are like they came up with the acronym after they had already come up with what they wanted to call themselves. It was kind of
I see.
Betsy,
So they,
it's inner excellence. Inner, not outer. Inner. So
otherwise
it might be a personal best for them.
Beasto.
Might be
The
a personal
Beasto
best. Yeah, everybody's at a different stage in their life.
Oh yeah, that's true. Mhm.
So Beastie Boys were a rap group from New York City. They started in 1981.
New York City.
Get a rope.
They started out actually as an experimental hardcore punk band called the Young Aborigines. But
Really?
it's slowly as members left, they brought on new people and they tested out rap. They did one rap song and it really kind of caught hold. They were like, maybe we should go in that direction. Specifically, after achieving some local success in 1983 with their comedy hip hop single "Cookie Puss," that's when they switched over to hip hop, and also when they lost their drummer Kate Schallenbach. So the main three people of Beastie Boys were Michael Diamond, Adam Yauch, MCA, and Adam Horowitz, or Adrock.
Huh.
And their first album that they did was License to Ill. 1985, they actually toured opening for Madonna.
No kidding.
So that's an interesting opening. Like, I would not pair those up.
No, not at all.
Like, Madonna was hitting her stride at that point. And here you have a rap group opening for her.
A different feel altogether, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose it's safer than opening for other rap groups.
And their first album actually hit the Billboard Top 200. It was the first rap record to ever do that. But their second album, which is what this song comes from, was a monumental failure commercially. Although later on, like, a lot of critics went out to say that, like, no, this is one of the best rap albums of that time. It was listed on one of the best albums of all times on Rolling Stone. So it gets a lot of acclaim now, but back then it didn't.
Interesting. I wonder if alcohol use has increased.
That could be a big factor.
Yeah.
It would have to be for me.
Well, nowadays nobody's a loser. Everybody's winners. Everybody's winner.
I do have to say that
Except for Beck.
I enjoyed listening to this week if I wasn't listening to the lyrics. So if I was listening to the background track, I really liked it. Like, I liked all the sampling that was going on. It was really cool to hear all these different funk beats thrown together.
Yeah, I do like the beats. It is a compilation of all kinds of different stuff. That's for sure.
But it can't be
Hard to
given.
keep track of.
You can't credit the Beastie Boys for that. The Beastie Boys had nothing to do with that. That was all done by the Dust Brothers, who actually put this whole record together and had the whole instrumental record all ready to release. And the Beastie Boys heard it and they're like, yeah, we want to lay down lyrics on top of this for our next record. And they're like, okay, well, let us just pull out the beat so you can sing, you can go to the beat. They're like, no, keep all the bass and everything right in it. We want all of that. They're like, don't you think that will be a little too layered? Like people won't hear you over it? And they're like, no, keep it in.
No, we'll shout real loud.
I know. We'll scream over it. Don't worry.
Don't worry, we got it. We're from New York. We're just gonna keep talking real loud.
Oh my Lord.
And that was one of the big critics' statements was like, you can't hear the lyrics as well over all this other stuff that's being played. Well, yeah, get rid of the lyrics then. And it's interesting. This song wasn't the single that was released. The first single off this album was actually Hey Ladies.
Oh,
yeah.
But
okay. Yep.
Shake Your Rump was part of the double single with Hey Ladies, and Shake Your Rump was track number 1.
Huh.
So when you, like, if I were going to say which song is being released and which song is the single, I would go with track number 1, the A side.
Huh.
You would think.
Yeah. Well, again, the 80s were experimental. They're trying to figure things out.
You got to listen to this other song first, get through to that, and then you can listen to the song that you went out to buy.
Yeah. Well, at least Shake Your Rump isn't that bad of a song, They could have started off with worse. I mean, we know B&L albums have started off with a way worse,
That's a hot take. Wow.
No, I'm serious, right? So, I mean, Shake Your Rump actually kind of is like, kind of get you moving a little bit, at least.
It does. But they don't say Shake Your Rump in any part during the song.
Shake your rump.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't?
I think they infer it, though.
It is not them. Something interesting that I found out while researching the song this week, Shake Your Rump was not said by them during this song.
Shake your rump.
It wasn't said by them?
No, it was a sample.
Oh, no kidding.
It was actually one of the samples used for the song. There were, I believe, 12 samples that were used to make this song. One of them is that one, which comes from Afrika, Bambaataa, when he was singing the song Unity Part 2 Because It's Coming with James Brown.
Interesting. Did not know that.
So they didn't even sing the real line.
Huh. They just hijacked it, huh?
They did.
Oh, I guess. Well, they can still cash checks, I guess.
They only had to pay $250,000 for all of the samples that they used on this entire album.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a bargain?
I'd say that's a win.
Back in the 80s, like in the
That's
80s that was going, but today you couldn't even get like you would have to, in order to get that much of a sample of just a Beatles song, that would pay for a 10-second sample of a Beatles song.
Yeah, but nobody wants the Beatles, so.
Yeah, they're not popular at all or anything. Right.
Let's talk a little bit real quick, if we can, about the different samples that this song had. I'm taking all of my notes right now from a video that was done by DJ Functional. I actually invited him to come on tonight, and he's actually DJing a party tonight, so he was not able to join us.
Oh, that was my attempt at doing Sandstorm, like in a party.
Oh, I have that on my playlist. Yeah.
Don't ever admit that on public again, Betsy.
I have it on my playlist and I love it. And I was playing it at work, and it's like this 20-year-old girl comes over, one of my coworkers. She's like, "Oh, is that Sandstorm?" And I'm like, "How do you know that?" Good for you. You're my new best friend.
That's how we know.
I know. Here I am,
old.
hobbling along with my cane. You know Sandstorm.
Sandstorm came out when they were in grade school, probably.
I know, probably. If that.
Hey, Tracy, welcome back.
Hi, Tracy. Did you get a haircut?
Yes.
Or more than one.
You realize I hear all of this later on when I'm editing, right?
I don't know what you mean by editing.
So,
So he moves on. Editing. Moving on.
The intro drum beat, which I think is a really cool drum beat, comes from the song Funky Snakefoot by Alphonse Mouzon.
Ew.
And then the drum sample that you hear for the entire first verse comes from Harvey Scales' song Dancing Room Only. And then there's another drum sample that was heard throughout that was taken from the song Super Mellow, done by a number of people, Louis Benson, Shelly Manne, etc. And then the drum fill sample that you hear at the end of the first verse comes from Thin Lizzy's Johnny the Fox Meets Jimmy the Weed.
No kidding. Thin Lizzy, huh?
I
knew the boys were back in town.
I caught that one. The funky bass sample that we hear throughout that is from Yo-Yo, done by Ronnie Laws.
Well, I'm like being a back from the dead, chilling at the beach down at Club Med, making another record because the people they want more of their suckers they.
It wasn't Funky Cold Medina, was it?
No. And then that low growling synth.
It's the joy.
Probably like the thing that makes I think most stands out in this song, that really growling background sound.
Yeah.
That comes from Rose Royce's song 6 O'Clock DJ, which comes from the movie Car Wash with Richard Pryor and George Carlin.
So basically, the whole song's like a mix.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Huh.
And then the lines like, Hooya, got them all in check, and just like this, and it's the joint. All those lines come from songs, and they pulled them in and used them.
Huh.
Wow. I didn't realize it was so heavily sampled. I mean, you can tell things are spliced together, but geez.
And it's really well done, because you can't tell it's really like super spliced like that. Like it's really well done.
Spicy.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the Beastie Boys' work. I think that's someone else's.
That's the Dust Brothers.
The Dust Brothers are like, okay, what we really need now is a group of guys that can yell.
It sounds real.
Where
real
to
mad.
find them? Where to find them? It's going to be a rap, so they have to be sacrificial. So.
Now earlier I had said that they paid $250,000, not for this song, just for the 12 on this song. They paid $250,000 for all of the songs that they sampled, over 105 songs that they sampled on this album.
Holy shit.
The irony is that later on, British Airways sampled part of their song Beastie Revolution.
When you're next away from home and in need of a little help, it's worth remembering British Airways has people in more places than any other airline.
Smoking or non-smoking?
Smoking. British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
And the Beastie Boys sued them over it. and British Airways immediately paid them $40,000 in royalties.
They had another lawsuit too, didn't they?
Yes. For
I
sampling.
can't remember what. Yeah, which is so ironic.
Like, they were known for stealing other people's stuff, which is what rap does. Like, hip hop rap does that. They sample other people's songs, and that's understood that that's what they're going to do. But the fact that they then turned around and sued someone for sampling themselves is just absurd.
It's a little meta.
Just a bit.
It is.
That would be like Vanilla Ice turning around and suing someone for using one of his songs.
Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. Like Queen or something.
But I've gone off enough on this song. Why don't we talk about the B&L version of this song?
Yeah, let's do that.
It was recorded on October 13th, 1994. It was done at Santa Maria Hilton in California. And one of the things I love about this song is that we get Tyler doing some of the raps along with them, which is super rare.
I got my peg leg at the end of a stumper. Shake your rump.
He's good. Yeah,
Cool.
he's great at it.
This was at the end of their set, so they covered this just before they went off stage, before their encore.
Oh, no kidding.
They did $1 million.
Encore.
They did they did this song, and then they did their own ad-lib rap, then left the stage and then came back with their encore.
Huh.
And it was the only cover that they did that entire night.
Did the Beastie Boys sue B&L for this song? Or did they buy the rights to it?
Nope, they didn't sue them. Maybe they didn't know they did it. They did it 6 times though in that 2 years at concerts.
No kidding.
And I don't know if they paid so this does show up on an album. I don't know if the Beastie Boys ever sued them for covering it.
They knew about British Airways. I'm sure they'll know about B&L.
Yeah.
The original was done in C sharp major, but I cannot get a solid answer as to what the B&L version was done in. I think it's done in the original key. It sounds like it's in the original key.
I listened to them back to back, and it sounded almost identical. But then again, I'm not really good at identifying that stuff.
Yeah,
so
me either.
I think it was more of a C diplydium, actually. I'm going to try to be Aaron. It's actually a Q sharp major synthesized over a Z abstinian. That's all I got.
The B&L version is faster.
Is it? I think it's lyrically better done.
I'm going to agree with you. I like the B&L version better.
I agree. I think it's good.
They're actually singing and not like just yelling at the audience.
Yeah.
I think if I went to a Beastie Boys concert, I'd walk away going, are they angry at me for some reason?
I know. I would probably just feel angry walking away from the concert. It's just,
But so the other thing I want to point out, B&L did not sample anything when they did this. This is all done live. All the instruments were played live. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
if they sampled any more, like the universe would have folded in on itself. Like there's a lot of sampling.
By playing the song, they sampled.
True.
Well,
I don't know if you know this or not, but I mean,
they covered. They didn't
duplicate a sampled song. You're duplicating. You're sampling.
They covered it. They didn't sample it though.
Because they did the whole
You know what I mean, right?
Well, yeah, but a sample is when you pull directly all of that and use the original material. B&L actually they played actual instruments to hit all that stuff. Like they had someone, I don't know if it was Tyler, they had someone doing the actual drums. By the way, whoever was doing the fucking drums was killing it.
Now I rock the house party is to drop the hat. Yeah, and I beat about it down with an aluminum bat. A lot of people may be jonesing because they hear me rock the mic. Maybe staring at the radio, staying up all night. I'm pimping, he's tripping. My guy arrested at the money go for jumping on the floor. My man MCA's got a beard like a Billy Goat.
The what drums, Tracy? You might have to edit that out.
The beep drums.
And Jim's funking rock on this song is amazing.
Well, I'm Mike T and I'm back from the dead. And I've been chilling at the beach down a Club Med. We'll make another record because the people they want more of this consumers they be.
Holy cow. Jim at the end of that second verse and what he's doing to make that deep guttural noise. Amazing.
I definitely think that they do the song much better.
Agreed.
Yeah. The music's a lot better. The lyrics, how they sing is a lot better. They're just, I think they're a lot more tremendously more talented than the Beastie Boys. Tremendously. Yeah. So with that being said, I think B&L is missing their calling. I think they should give up on any other albums
and just
start covering Beastie Boy songs.
Well, without Steve, who's going to cover the third voice?
What's that?
Without Steve, who's going to cover the third voice?
Kevin.
Oh my goodness, I want to see that. I want to see Kevin rapping.
You know, whatever Kevin does will be good. So
that's true.
Let's do it. Let's break it down. Break it down with Kevin.
We will ask him if we ever get him on the show. Kevin, do your best Adam Horowitz impression. Go.
Yeah, because when I think of angsty New Yorkers, I think of Kevin Hearn.
if you're talking about the antonym of
right. Only if I mean the opposite. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, that I listened to the Beastie Boy, not the Beastie Boys. I listened to the B&L version first, and then I listened to the Beastie Boys version afterwards. And I don't know what the time frame is between the two, but there's definitely refinement from B&L.
About a 5-year difference.
But it came. So the the Beastie Boys song "Shake Your Rump" came out 5 years before B&L did the song.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And to back that up even more, B&L actually started playing before that song even came out. Like they formed together as a group in 1988.
Right.
Like they had not been around that long as a group at that point to be able to cover. Like they just released their second album.
It just goes to show how well they jive together. If they're able to pull that, because it's smooth. You could hear everybody just playing off of one another as just good artists. And I think that's
good artists and really great chemistry.
Yeah. I think that really makes a big difference is people who know what they're doing and are professional with it. They make an easy work out of it.
And if if Tyler is doing the drums and the rapping at the same time, that is flipping impressive.
You know he is. That man is crazy talented.
He is. He doesn't show it often. He's
so
often...
much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always back there and being the skeleton of this crew. But man, oh man, we don't give him enough chances to come out from behind the drums.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
He can belt it too. Like when he does is it the encore? Or he does a few songs, like 1 or 2, 1.5 songs every concert, and he just freaking belts it. He's very talented.
He is. Tyler, we know you listen. Come on the show.
Talented. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Tyler, come on the show. Baby.
Now, if there's a show that they need to listen to, this is it. Because we're like, oh, they're amazingly talented. They're the best. Aside from me with a prior comment, sorry guys.
One or two, yeah.
Yeah, you've got a few good hits out there, so keep up the good work.
I don't
better than what I can do.
I don't want to break down the lyrics because they actually cover the lyrics extremely close to what the original lyrics are.
Really?
We don't need.
You must know that song inside and out in order to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's not an easy song to be able to duplicate, much less make better.
I agree.
Especially live.
Because there is a lot of running over each other, like knowing like you're going to take so-and-so, you're going to take so-and-so, you're going to take so-and-so, go.
That just takes a gut instinct in order to, be able to make it work very well. Especially like that. It's just awesome.
Now I rock the house party is to drop the hat, yeah. I beat about it down with an aluminum bat. A lot of people may be jonesing because they hear me rock the mic. Maybe staring at the radio, staying up all night. I'm pimping, he's tripping. My guy arrested at the Monte Carlo jumping on a float. My man MCA's got a beard like a Billy Goat.
Crickets.
No, it's just
okay.
Actually.
The one thing I did find interesting as I was reading about the lyrics this week, though, was the line, "I'm Mike D and I'm back from the dead."
I heard that, I know.
Because there was a rumor going around during their hiatus between their first album and second album that Mike D had OD'd or been murdered or been killed by Run DMC or several other versions as well. But that basically Mike D was dead.
Huh.
But he's alive and well, right? I thought I saw him on an interview with Jimmy Fallon.
He's the one. Adams.
Because there's only two of them alive right now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There were 3 total, right?
Yes. MCA is the one that unfortunately died of cancer back in the early.
Yeah, when he was 47.
I want to say 2014.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that you never know, man. You never know.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So, MCA, come on the show. We know you're listening.
Well, I don't know what you guys are going to give this song.
Wait, before we get there.
Oh.
I had noticed something that I don't know. I don't think it's intentional because it sounded pretty close on the Beastie Boys version compared to BNL's version. But after there's like a break. I don't know if it's between verse 2. Hold on. Between verse 1 and verse 2, they said something like, after they say it's the joint, there's that break and there's like that. I can't do sound effects at all, but it's like that.
It's the joint.
Yeah, the growling.
Yeah, so didn't that sound? I know, I'm like horrible at it. I'm sorry.
You can make noises. You can do it.
I'm not doing it again though. It sounded like Tom Sawyer to me. You know that line in Tom Sawyer from Rush?
Nope. So that is directly from the song.
It's the joy.
It's just them recreating it, and so I think they had to do it at a higher pitch because in order to get to what they did on the original song, you really have to play around with the audio and slow it down and mess with it.
Okay. Yeah, no, it totally just, the first time I heard it, just struck me as Tom Sawyer, but yeah, it's just definitely a different song then, or a different sample.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or it may have been them trying to recreate the bong hit that you hear on the original Beastie Boys album.
The what?
So the Beastie Boys were the first group to put a bong rip into a song. And that may have
Of
been
course they
them
are.
trying to recreate that on stage without a sound effect.
Without a bong?
Without,
You mean?
yeah, exactly.
Not a gong, a bong. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Not a gong, a bong.
Not a Kong, a bong.
I had to look that up. I'm like, oh, that's got to be a typo. No, it's
I'm like,
no.
is this a G or a B that you're saying?
No, it's a bong rip. Speaking of which, that's
Never
this
heard of
week's
that.
measure is how many bong rips do you give
Nice.
this song?
That's
Nice.
perfect.
Do we have a trouble with Tracy this week?
We
Ooh, yeah.
The only trouble with Tracy is the song is about something I can't connect to at all. I don't really understand the lyrics.
But besides that,
I don't even know what the song is about.
If I just listen to it for listening to it for the fun of it, then I'm okay. But if I try to make sense of anything, which is why I'm not breaking down the lyrics, then I'm like, I get utterly frustrated.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
So
irritating.
you're trying to tell us, Tracy, that you don't shake your rump?
No.
Come on.
His
Who
rump
doesn't-
is completely still during this song.
You do. We know you do it, Tracy.
Is what you're saying.
The privacy of your own home. You're in there shaking your rump.
And and in order to know whether or not Betsy is, she'd have to turn away.
That's true.
And that's next week's song.
Was it?
That's right.
Wow. So next week's song is in the tease.
Nice.
No,
but we
she
jumped all
turned
the-
away.
Oh, she turned away.
Yeah.
I'm a
Oh.
she. And
You're
I
a she?
turned away. I think so. Last I checked.
I try not to assume.
Well, you never know, right?
Because, when you do that, it makes an ass out of all of us.
Especially me.
And
'cause,
you and
my-
me, particularly.
You can blame it on me. That's all right. I'm an ass.
Or you can blame it on the rain. Whatever. Man.
But if you blame it on the rain, then what is there to be gained?
Talk about sampling, right?
Why don't
yeah,
I go with you,
Rain.
Betsy? I'm going to go with you
Bong-
first. How many bong rips do you give this song?
rips. I'm glad you said rips
Bong
because
rips.
all I could remember is bong hits. So, and that's not right. Bong.
I mean, one leads to the other, but
Well, they're closely related. That's for sure.
How many bong hits did I have to take to get through this song?
Can't have one without the other. It's like thunder and lightning.
Peanut butter and jelly. Ed and Steve. Okay, so
No, thunder and
I'm gonna-
lightning. You can have a peanut butter sandwich without jelly. Come on,
I know.
that was a bad analogy.
It's just no, it's not. It's magical. But maybe fluff them. I don't know. I don't like this song. You guys.
If you don't like it, you don't like it.
you don't have to like it.
You don't have to.
There's a reason it made the rarities
It's
item.
It's like the first time I tried gefilte fish. I'm like, oh God, what is this? Ugh. Okay, because it's B&L, obviously it's gonna get a better ranking than Beastie Boys because it has their beautiful voices on it, and the tone is a lot better than the Beastie Boys, and they're kind of more playful. But it's definitely not on my playlist at all. So I would give it 2.5 bong
Rips.
I keep wanting to say hits. 2.5 bong hits, please. Thank you. Bong rips.
And there she's on the floor.
2.5
Okay.
bongos. 2.5 thongs. No, bong rips.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
That, I mean, the shake
very
your rump
tired.
does go with that, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh, now I want to hear the thong song. Anyway,
The thong song?
I want to see B&L
no.
cover that.
you should.
Did
My
not
mind is
cover it.
just like a moth-eaten maze. It's great. Okay.
You heard it here first. B&L cover the thong song.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can totally do them. Like, you know how they do their little dance at the end of their concert and like a breakdown or whatever?
Yeah.
Medley. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course, now I have to
seen
look
the
and see
picture
if
of Ed
they've
in the
ever
thong,
done
right?
that.
Have you seen the picture of Ed in the thong?
No.
Oh my
What?
God. I'll share it for you.
Like
But
what?
anyway,
Stanza?
I digress.
Well, while Betsy is searching that up to share
Oh
with
no,
the
I have it
group,
saved. I have it
Steffan,
saved.
how many bong rips do you give this song?
I'm sorry, Betsy just rendered me speechless. Like, who has a song? What? This is...
Yeah, it's the
All right,
first
my
person
mind's
to say
blown.
that.
Okay.
It's a very graphic picture.
It's a thong. Yes,
Once-
it's graphic picture. Unless it's like a thong with a wrap, because I'm definitely fashion oriented.
No, it's
No?
It's discreet. It's discreet.
Gotcha. Fantastic. No, anyways, how Beastie Boys? I mean, Beastie Boys it's not a very good song in the first place. One, because it's just all over the place and it's new and children singing it. But
Children.
but duplicating it, that's even more mind-blowing for me, is being able to try to duplicate it and get it right. So, because it's like, that would be hard, but singing it when you're creating it, it's complete chaos. So that's understandable. So Beastie Boys trying to duplicate it, that would be kind of challenging, because they have to actually know what they did in the first place. And any subsequent duplications of the song, I'd imagine, would be quite challenging, because it's off the walls, and you really need to know the song. You really need to know your timing. You really need to know what goes where, because it's all over the place. That being said, the Bare Naked Ladies knocked this out of the park. I think it's the best tradition, even better than the Beastie Boys, than what they had, So based on the music, their music was top notch. They nailed it. It was great. It sounded like the real thing, but better. And you can hear that they just did better with the instruments. They just did. And then the singing, the lyrics, they weren't screaming, they were singing, but they did it perfectly. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. So I can't find anything wrong with the song other than it's just a Beastie Boys song, So what can I say? How can I rank this? So I'm going to have to rank it high, because the Bare Naked Ladies did it. They did awesome with it. A little bit low because it isn't original, but however, they really made it awesome. They made it better. So what do I rank this, people? Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, what do I rank this thing? I have no idea. So what I'm going to do is all right, I'm going to, it's out of 5, right? 5 bong hits. Bong rips.
Yep.
So here we go.
Ripping
5. I'm going to rank it a 4.5, simply because I think they took it and they made it better. So what can I say with that? It should be lower because it's not an original song, but yeah, why not? Bring it. I don't know.
Depends on how much you enjoy it. That's the question.
Oh my gosh. Well, I enjoy it, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, yeah. Well,
you can always change it at the end of the year if you're like, yeah, no, I was too easy.
I'm going to change it right now. I'm going to change it right now to a 4. I'm going to change it to a 4. Okay. I think that's fair. It's not 5. It's not a 2.5. It's right there. It's up there. It's good. 4.
Okay. 4.
Final answer.
If I was
final answer. How about you, Tracy? What do you rank this?
If I was ranking the original, I would give this a 1 at probably. If you took out the lyrics, I would raise it probably quite a bit.
Wow.
Because I really do like the funk groove and what the Dust Brothers did with all of the samples and mixing it together and the way that they made it all work.
That was hard.
Oh yeah. I'm not a Beastie Boys fan. I'm not. But BNL, like I like what they did with this. Is it my favorite song by them? Not even close. Do I like their version much, much more than Beastie Boys? And I think if I ignore the lyrics, because they didn't write the lyrics, they just covered. And they covered it well. They hit all the everything, and including the samples. They threw in their own voices for the samples, which is impressive. Even Beastie Boys didn't do that. And they played their own instruments. And the drums and bass on this song, it is hard to play funk, especially as a bass player. Being a bass player and playing funk, it is on you at that point.
Yeah.
And Jim nails it, and Tyler nails it. So I've got to give this a solid 3.
Oh, I'm not the hater this week.
I am. It's
I
okay.
usually
I'll
am.
admit.
Unbelievable. You know what? I'm usually not the hater when it's not a BNL song.
I'll have to check that and see if that's true.
It is true. It is true. I know it is true.
This week's appearance is Stephen Page on the QTV show, or radio show, both internet show, talking about the death of Leonard Cohen and his experience with Leonard Cohen and his experience with learning from Leonard Cohen and such. So I recommend people go out and listen to that.
Okay. Have they covered any Leonard Cohen songs?
Hallelujah.
I know Hallelujah is the most popular, but
only Stephen did.
I can't even say it
at the funeral, and that's it.
Really? Oh, he was at Leonard Cohen's funeral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. He covered that song?
Yeah.
That's
and
quite
he did
It's intense. Right?
a amazing cover of that song.
Wow. Gives me chills just thinking of it.
I'm not putting that in this week.
That's one of few songs I actually get goosebumps from. Awesome
They
song.
do have some amazing covers. This week is a good cover.
yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, if you take out the lyrics and if you take out the instruments, I think it's nearly a perfect song.
Wow. Just nice and stripped down, huh? Nice and stripped down. I like just a quiet white noise. Yeah. I definitely give that a 5. Beautiful. My favorite song. Put it on repeat. I really like the bridge.
Well, come back next week. I hope I see you two again next week to discuss the song She Turned Away, which is...
I've never heard the song.
Nope, it is a very rare song.
Run Away.
It is... Yeah. Well, it's off from the same, or supposed to be off the same album, but was never released except as a bonus track off if you pre-ordered. So
I never pre-order. I'm not that organized.
it's a Jim song, so we'll have to see what you guys think.
Oh.
Really? So turn around.
I hope it's not
every time she walks away, I think of
she turned away.
And then you splice in the thong song, right? And then splice in Shake Your Rump.
Turned away. Thong, 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 thong.
Yep, that's perfect. Cut it.
Pull up your pants, lady.
The sad thing is, all week long while I've been trying to come up with some way to talk about She Turned Away, all I could think of was You Run Away, but with those words in its place.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of too.
And the two songs sound nothing alike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Well, guys, thank you so much. I gotta get going. I gotta get my kid to bed so that way he'll go to school in the morning.
Yep.
I know. He keeps calling out, right? How's he ever going to get paid if he keeps calling out?
What a slacker.
No work ethic of kids nowadays.
Have a good week, you guys.
Thanks, guys.
You too.
Hey, have a good one.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.